Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a random League of Legends casting English edition. My name is Ratko Popovic and I will be your caster for tonight. Or today, depending on where you are. So, let's get into the game. In the blue corner we have Irelia carries you on, unsurprisingly, Irelia. Peanut Brain on Warwick, Kawaki on Twisted Fate, Tolko Ruski on Twitch. That's an interesting pick. Kojunku on Alistar. And on the red team we have Jensen's Girl on Riven, Neo on Lee Sin, LOL End My Life on Draven, Will Win on LeBlanc, and BB Dog Boy on Blitzcrank. These teams looks actually well, I can't really say because the blue team has many unconventional picks, I suppose. Almost none of those picks are usually played, neither in solo queue nor in competitive tournaments, so I think we should be looking at that team. As for the red team, they're sort of standard. They have a bully bottom lane, a bully jungle, a bully top lane, and a bully mid lane. So, blue team will have a really bad time. No teams are invading, so this seems passive enough. However, the teams have actually switched. So usually it goes no, they haven't switched. My bad, guys, sorry. Alright, literally nothing is happening. A little trades here and there, but I suppose that's to be expected. TF and LeBlanc are kind of smacking each other a little more than the others are, but nothing too serious. That was a real nice play by LeBlanc. She actually realized she can kill Twisted Fate, and just barely. However, she spent most of her spells and summoners on it, while TF only spent flash. Lee Sin came into a gank, that's an easy kill for them. That was a really good play by Lee Sin. He literally timed the gank perfectly. He didn't even take his golems, he literally just went into his buffs and into a gank. That's pretty much how you actually should play the game. Especially as a Lee Sin, which is a really good early game ganker. And falls off hard. And by hard I mean really hard. However, Irelia is already back. She is just 3 minions behind and might even get a return kill. Very nice. However, Lee Sin gets even more ahead. Warwick came bottom lane to even the odds, but the blue team didn't get that much out of it, as is evident by the red team still leading about 500-ish gold. Mid lane will be a tough place for Twisted Fate now, because LeBlanc actually has an inherent advantage against him, but his goal now is to just rush level 6 so he can start ganking around and actually avoid being in the same lane as LeBlanc. Lee Sin is coming bot for a gank. Nice clash from Blitzcrank. That should be a kill. Yep, an easy one. They should disengage. Okay. Lee Sin is doing work. Basically, he is ignoring his jungle in order to actually help his team. And that's exactly how one should play Lee Sin. Blitzcrank is doing good work, and we're not seeing much of Twisted Fate or LeBlanc, actually. But I suppose we'll see more of them when they hit their 6th. Top lane is again even. Riven is leading for around 10 CS, but that's not really important, honestly. Irelia will eventually outscale her. Well, so we saw 2 kills now. Riven managed to solo kill Irelia because Irelia overextended through her minions. That was Irelia's mistake. Otherwise she would have killed her quite easily. And we saw Twitch ganking mid, which is, well, literally unexpected because you almost never see Twitch. That was a fantastic play, by the way. And Lee Sin overextended, thought he could get the kill, but Alistar came in to support Twitch. So, even with all that, the red team is still almost 1k gold ahead. Top lane is a scrap. 1-for-1 trade. That's, well, neutral, I suppose. However, it will give Irelia a big chance to actually get back into the lead. I mean, theoretically, even with less CS, she is in the lead. As long as she doesn't die outright to Riven, she can whittle down quite easily, I suppose. Mid lane is still absolutely passive for some reason. LeBlanc is leading in about 20 CS, but that doesn't really matter much. However, she is coming bot. If she manages to pull off this gank, she will be ahead for a lot. And they managed to pull it. Also, Draven got a kill. For you who do not know, if Draven gets a kill, he cashes in the gold he has been accruing by his passive, which gives him gold every time he kills a minion or damages an enemy champion. I mean, doesn't really literally give him, but gives him, you could say, gold in the bank. This is a dead Twisted Fate. Or not? Wow. Well, that's just lucky on his part. He was going through an unwarded patch of the map. I mean, there's no reason to ever go by that little point of space between your jungle camp and the river. Because if you want to actually ward it, you can just go straight across, put it in the brush, and be like 3 steps from your tower. That's something to always look out for. Top lane is still being scrappy. Riven actually made the smart decision of going into a more tanky build. However, Irelia can still just whittle her down. As for other item builds, Twisted Fate is going for a Rod of Ages, which is pretty goddamn bad. I mean, his logic is, I suppose, that he's against LeBlanc and he wants to survive, but he's never going to actually get a Rod of Ages in time against an assassin champion. As for LeBlanc, she's going for Hextech. That... well, this might turn out quite bad. Yep. You do not want to actually dive or even, because they will so clean them up right now. They invested 3 people to gank Riven, and they actually dove her while not having a tank champion, because apparently Warwick is going for a Tiamat full attack damage build, which means Riven could have literally two-shot him. If she actually looked at his items and went beneath her tower, she wouldn't have ran anymore, but she would have literally just stunned the 3 of them, pushed her ulti, killed Warwick, and probably could have turned everything around on her own even. However, without that, even they got it, because the red team is actually responding to things happening around the map, while the blue team is just like, well, let's dive Riven. Like, that's a good idea. Again, Twisted Fate is going in the same spot. Doesn't really matter that he actually saw them, because even though he saw him, if LeBlanc actually landed her stuff, she would have killed them, murdered them, literally. That was not a good engage, even though it looked like they had the advantage. However, yeah, I was saying LeBlanc built Hextech. Hextech is not an item you build on Assassin Champions. Well, I suppose we shall see what she builds it into, but it's really redundant on her, especially against a Twisted Fate. She could have simply bought more spell power and just burst down Twisted Fate. Top lane is getting to the point where Irelia is actually outscaling Riven, even though she has almost 30 CS advantage over her. Well, Riven realized she can actually turn the thing around, but only because, again, Irelia dove Riven and took a turret shot. If she did not do that, she would have won that matchup. Basically, it comes down to blue team do not respecting the towers or the enemy champions. This is an easy red team dragon, literally no contesting whatsoever. So they're in the lead for about 2.5k gold. That's not extremely terrible, however, if the blue team doesn't actually make some sort of a game plan, I believe the red team will win this game. They're just not being proactive or active at all. I mean, after that one gank from Warwick and he's trying to, I don't know, do stuff around the map, nothing actually happened. Plus they're building very, well, I don't know if I can say they, but Twisted Fate and Warwick are both building really bad. I literally cannot see the contribution a Warwick could have in a teamfight. Again, we saw the same thing happening to Twisted Fate over and over again. He goes into a blind spot for no apparent reason and gets ganked by Lee Sin. Again, LeBlanc missing her chain. I suppose if she actually worked on that, she would be killing Twisted Fate over and over. And once again we see Lee Sin coming for Twisted Fate. Warwick is there, but it doesn't really matter. Again, like I said, Warwick's build is so bad that if LeBlanc actually looked at him, he died. So he's literally not a factor. However, they're trying the same thing again. They're 3-man diving the bot. This time there's no Riven, so it might actually work, and it does. And this time they actually got the tank in Alistar. However, you see how much damage he took. If the tower actually targeted Warwick or Twisted Fate first, again, they would not get anything out of it. So they're doing a bunch of really risky plays. This one paid off, but the next one might not. So basically you want to calculate your risks. LeBlanc built a cutlass which literally gives her nothing. I'm still curious what she's building it into, because again, practically any other item she could have built would have given her much more power. Twitch built a Blade of the Ruined King, which is... I don't really understand it. I mean, it's not a bad item, however, that's an item you build to take care of tanks. The red team does not have tanks. Plus they have a Draven. Draven built Death's Dance, which is not the best, but not the worst item for him. I mean, it depends. Bloodthirster might be better, but they're both practically the same. LeBlanc landed her chain finally, which will score her a kill. Warwick tried to gank her, and he managed to, or not. Wow. Alright, that was a really great play. Lee Sin came just in time to actually save her and counter gank Warwick. This Lee Sin basically just decides the game. Irelia is harassing Riven again. However, there's Lee Sin. Holy Christ, guys. If you ever play Lee Sin, please play Lee Sin like this guy is playing Lee Sin. As for the others, Warwick is still building extremely poorly. Twisted Fate actually managed to finish his Rod of Ages and a Shin, so... And he came bot lane for no apparent reason, just to die. Twitch cleaned up too, however, with LeBlanc bot lane, that's a win for the red team. I mean, they forced a 3 versus 3, which they cannot win. I mean, they almost got a 2 for 2, however, they're just too weak. They're basically only lucky to get that 1 kill because the red team actually piled up so Twitch can hit multiple of them. If they didn't line up literally for Twitch to actually puncture them, they might not even get 1 kill in all of that. So again, they're doing really poor decisions and having them pay off just because of luck. Pure luck. No skill. Which is not how it should be, I suppose. The red team is finally destroying towers around. They caught Irelia on her own. The blue team is coming to help, which they should not be doing. They're just going to get cleaned up. Draven use ulti, Riven is here with her ulti. That's basically a slaughterhouse now. Like I said, again, they do not understand where and when they should actually fight. I mean, this is basically a waiting for surrender game. I mean, what the hell is Twisted Fate doing? Even with a surprise, he can't do nothing from LeBlanc. I mean, again, he got lucky because she got stun locked. One more spell of any kind and she would have murdered him. Literally, it takes 2 spells for her to kill him. And his build is like Rod of Ages, Shin, and Lucidity Boots. They're like, that's worthless. He literally cannot take half health from a Draven. Yeah. There we go, that's surrender. This is basically a course on how you should not play the game. Warwick built terribly. The whole blue team didn't understand how the game actually works and overextended in the red team's basically everything. Twisted Fate constantly checked brushes which weren't warded. Warwick and the gang constantly tried to tower dive people without actually having a tank, because he did not build tank for some reason. LeBlanc built a Hextech Gunblade. Okay, I literally do not understand that build or the thought process behind it. However, I suppose she managed even with a handicap she gave herself. However, what we can take out of this game is early ganks pay off. You saw how Lee Sin perfectly went for his 3 buffs. I mean 2 buffs. Sorry guys. And just murdered top lane, and then was at the right place at the right time every goddamn time. And that's how you actually should play a jungler. As for the rest of the team, Riven literally baited Irelia constantly, even when she was behind. I mean, she was at no point behind in gold or creep score. However, every time Irelia was stronger and Riven baited her out to use all of her cooldowns, or just bait her out to jump where she should not be jumping after Riven, so she cannot get back into her creep line rather. I mean, basically what you saw was a disorganized, dysfunctional solo queue team versus a not so organized but smart players. I suppose that's that for the analysis. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again next time.